The Alpha 200i has Inreach built into the handheld. Inreach is a two-way satellite communication service that you can activate via a subscription plan. Inreach allows you to do several things in the field. The most important part of it is that it has an SOS feature where you can send for help, and you can also have communication with medical professionals in the field in case you have something happen that requires the help of doctors. The other thing that the SOS feature allows is for you to be picked up in the field. So if you fall and you break your leg, this is something that can help you. More common uses of the Inreach product are going to be a two-way text communication system. When you're in areas that do not have cellular service, you can use your Garmin 200i handheld to communicate with folks via text message. A couple other great things that it'll do is it gives you the ability to send your location via satellite to anyone in the world. Folks can know where you are. And then it also has a tracking feature that you can activate so that people can keep up with you at preset intervals to see exactly where you are in the field. Inreach service is a satellite communication using the Iridium satellite networks. It doesn't matter where you are, you just got to have a clear view of the sky, and you're going to be able to have communication. You don't have to have cell towers, you don't have to be close to civilization. And for a lot of places that we hunt, there's just not good cell service. And so the 200i, once you've activated the Inreach capabilities, you can actually use it with your phone. I've got mine set up through the Garmin Explore app, and I don't even have to use the handheld to text. You get into situations where you don't have cell service, you need to be able to communicate, but it's not emergency situations. Having the ability to just say, here's where I am, I'm in good shape, or oh, I'm having some trouble, I need somebody to come get me some help, even outside of medical emergencies, vehicle breakdown. Anything along those lines. Just being able to let folks know when you're running late. I hunt by myself a good bit, and to be able to let my wife know exactly where I am and that I'm okay and I'll be home, but I'm running a little late, it's just a perfect device for that. It puts these two things into one unit, which is great for me. For a long time, I was running a separate Inreach device, and that's just one more handheld you have to keep up with. So having it built into the 200i, it's one less thing for me to have to worry about. So let's talk about the SOS feature. You have the ability to send an SOS via satellite, and this is to a 24/7 monitored, it's the GEOS system. It's not just sending an SOS, it's actually interactive, where they're going to respond to your SOS to see what they need to do to help you. You have the opportunity to not only get help via text, but you can also have them come and get you. They'll send the helicopters. And this gives you the ability to communicate and let folks know where you are and get help when you need it. The Inreach system works off of the Iridium satellite network. It has nothing to do with cell phones or cell towers. It is completely based off of satellite communication. All you need is a clear view of the sky, and it's going to work anywhere in the world. I moved over to Inreach a few years ago, and Inreach gives you the ability to have preset messages so that you can say, hey, here's where I am, everything's great. You can actually change those preset messages, and here's my location and everything's great. I'm running late, everything's fine, but I'm running late. And then I've got I'm in trouble and I need help. I've contacted the authorities. When I leave in the morning, I can give you a general idea of where I'm going to go, but it changes. I hunt a lot of public ground, especially out west. I know in the morning, oh, well, here's where I'm going. Well, you get there and something's changed, or you get there and somebody's already in your spot, which is fine. Now I'm going to go to my backup spot. Got to always have a backup spot. I can go to that spot, and all I have to do when I get out of the truck, I send the location, and it's going to send the text to my wife, and she's able to click on that location, and it's going to pop up on the map, and she can see exactly where I am. And I seriously doubt she checks it that much until there's a problem. But it's here's where my vehicle is, this is the general area that I'm hunting in. After that, if you want to set it up, you can actually set it up where it automatically sends your location throughout the day. The advantage of that is that depending on how you set it up, it'll do every couple of minutes, or it'll do in a 10-minute interval. If you're hurt or if they're trying to find you, they've got the ability to look at your actual tracks and see where you were within the last 10 minutes. Equipment is built into the handheld. It is a subscription-based service. You have to activate it. See, so when you turn on your 200i handheld, it's going to be part of the welcome menu. It is not something that's required. You don't have to do it if you have no interest in this whatsoever. It's not costing you anything to run a 200i. You don't have to use Inreach. You can set up a subscription plan for it. I'm not going to go into detail on what the subscription plans are because they can change. They've got some really basic plans for folks that they don't want to use it to communicate. They strictly want to use it as an SOS feature. Then you have some limited abilities to send some basic information. And then they have some plans that you can use it constantly, and it's going to cost you X amount. When I first started out, I got the basic bare bones plan, and then I found that, okay, well, I'm using a little bit more than that, and so I upgraded to a higher level. What I really like about it, though, is that I really only need it from August to March. You can actually suspend your account, and you won't get charged for it while, now it deactivates, the communication plan. If you're only using it a couple of months out of the year, you activate it during those months, you deactivate it when you're through, and then turn it back on the next fall. So it's got a lot of flexibility to it. It's very reasonably priced, and the peace of mind that you can have for yourself and for your loved ones, it's a really valuable tool. And I've enjoyed using it. I think it's something that a lot of folks should take a look at. So let's talk about some of the things that you can do once you've activated your Inreach subscription service. You have messaging, you have tracking, you have the SOS feature, and then you also have the option for weather. Messaging pretty much works just like text messaging. This is it from the actual handheld, and so you can send a quick text. So you've got some built-in quick text here. Can't reply now, write later. Checking in, everything's okay. I'm starting from here, I'm stopping here. You can type a message, anything you want to send. And then you also have the ability to send a location. All right, you can also use your cell phone. This is in the Garmin Explore app. And so I have paired my cell phone to my 200i. And then it has messaging. And it is just like, this is just location alerts that I've sent. Here is the exact same conversation that I'm having here. So you can do both. If I find it's a lot easier to use my phone to communicate. I'm used to the text feature on that a little bit faster. The interface on the handheld's actually pretty decent. So thing to keep in mind about the messaging, and it depends on which plan you choose. It's just like it's just like any other subscription-based plan. You just need to understand what the limitations are and what it's going to cost you if you go over those. Tracking is one of those other options where you turn it on and it will send information. Let's see what the setup on that looks like. They have it set up where you can have it auto track, and you can change the intervals for when it tracks. The fastest that my plan will do is a 10-minute update. And so, but that's going to eat your battery up a little bit. So if you want to go to 30 minutes, you can change that. This is where your SOS function comes in. And we talked about it on the side here. You have a metal cover that blocks the button for the SOS, so you can't press it without actually opening up the cover and pressing it. And when you do, it's going to ask you, when you press the button, you're going to get some feedback from it that says, hey, you've sent the SOS. And then you'll have the communication between you and the Geos folks. A couple other things. You have the ability to have Inreach Weather. Somebody that's out way in the backwoods, you're out camping, you're far out of civilization here, and you want to keep up with changes in the weather. This is a great way to do it. It's also part of your subscription plan. And then we have the ability in the utilities here. This is your ability to check for messages. And then you also have the ability to test your satellites, make sure that you're in good shape before you get out. Gives you some information on your plan usage here. Pretty well designed system. As far as a satellite communicator goes, it is awesome. It works great for folks that need that outside of the cell range. I've been real pleased with it. Like I said, I've been using it pretty consistently for a couple of years now. Having it now built into my actual handheld is going to improve that. It's just going to be one less thing for me to keep up with. So pretty excited about this addition to the new Garmin Alpha 200i.